You should know that by being silenced, intimidated, you are emboldening Hamas and terror organizations because they think they get away with it. It's making the problem worse.
Wow. That is one of the most bold statements I've ever heard in my life. She's saying it with so much chest.
It's hard to breathe, but that's alright.
Yo, what did she just say? From hating Jews to becoming one. Fam. I've heard it all. I've heard it all. This one is beyond just a redemption arc. But before we start this video, I want to say a very massive thank you to my followers on Discord. You guys are out here entertaining me. Vuzo, thank you very much. I'm meant to be the entertainer, but you guys are getting entertained, so thank you very much. Let's roll the clip.
My name is Rawan Osman, and this is my story.
Okay.
I was born in Syria but raised in Lebanon. My father is Sunni from Damascus. My mom is Shia from the Bekaa Valley in Lebanon.
Wait, Sunni and Shia decided to get married. I've heard it all.
I was born in Syria but raised in Lebanon. My father is Sunni from Damascus. My mom is Shia from the Bekaa Valley in Lebanon. This is why religion was irrelevant in my upbringing. At school, we were taught that Israelis are invaders, that they occupied Lebanese territory. And the only ones who dared defy them was the terrorist organization Hezbollah. Hezbollah were a political party. They had an armed wing, just like Hamas has an armed wing. And we perceived them as heroes because they had a righteous cause. They wanted to liberate southern Lebanon. When I was a child, we could sometimes, when we played with the antenna, receive a signal from an Israeli TV. We couldn't care less if it was biblical cartoon, if it was Hebrew. But if a grown-up walked into the room, they would freak out. So we associated Hebrew with the language of the enemy.
That is mad. From a very, very early stage in life.
We associated Hebrew with taboo. Politicians, famous journalists, news anchors, wise people, your parents, your teachers, everybody's telling you the Israelis, the Jews, the Zionists are our enemies. We had no interactions with Jews, none whatsoever. The first 18 years of my life I spent in Lebanon, but eventually I landed in France. So I landed...
Yeah, I was going to say she sounded a bit French when she said Lebanon. You know, Lebanon.
I spent in Lebanon, but eventually I landed in France. So I landed in Strasbourg, and on the first day, I went across the street to a small grocery store. They were speaking a language I knew. It was Hebrew.
Taboo, the taboo language. The language she was taught. Once you hear that language, enemy turn red, is the enemy, is the enemy, is the enemy. Either you run or you know, do what the other ones, the heroes do.
When I turned and saw religious men with sideburns, dressed in white and black, big beards, I panicked. I dropped my stuff, crossed the street, ran up to the 3rd floor, locked my bedroom door. I was sharing the same space with the enemy for the first time ever, and it was overwhelming.
I feel her. I feel for her, you know. Coming from a place shaped by hate, culture, war, trauma. For the first time, she's experiencing what she was told from a childhood, from an early stage in life. What she was taught is a taboo. There she was with the thing. There she was with them in the same place. Rah.
It was my first day in France, and I was going to spend at least a year there. And I realized nothing instigated a panic attack except what was inside my brain. Because in the Arab world, we have anti-normalization laws and policies, and it forbids the citizens of these countries from interacting with Israelis. And if you are found guilty of collaborating with a Zionist or an Israeli, the consequences can be severe. But I realized that I'm not collaborating with Israel if I say hello to a Jew. And I was thinking they didn't even look at you. But also I left my stuff in the store and I had to go back and collect it. So I decided to compose myself to return. I continued shopping and the owner was Jewish. And he asked me when I came to pay where I came from. And I told him, Lebanon, Syria. And he understood when I said it was my first day that I panicked because I understood they were Jews. And he was pleasant and very nice and helped me with my bags. And I continued shopping there. And
she couldn't believe it. She couldn't believe it. She was like, wait, he's helping me. He knows where I'm from. He knows. He definitely knows the history. But he's still nice, pleasant. That word, pleasant, is a very powerful word. But it sounds like, an everyday word, very, word used calmly. But pleasant is a powerful word. It carries a lot of meaning. He was pleasant to her and very helpful as well. So she was like, these people, that are taboos, being nice to me.
I understood they were Jews. And he was pleasant and very nice and helped me with my bags. And I continued shopping there. And I realized years later that this man, although he didn't mean to, he converted me from an enemy to an ally through kindness.
Wow.
Every time I went there, I learned something new. I was thinking that they treated one another very nicely, that the children were well behaved.
The power of kindness can never be overemphasized. The power of kindness. One act of kindness.
That they always took care of the elderly. And I used to think, they don't seem so bad. Maybe the ones living in France were friendly and the monsters lived in Israel. I wanted to know, why is the Jew my enemy? Why Israel became a country? What was their incentive to return to this underdeveloped corner of the world? And the more I learned, the more I became angry. Angry because tens of thousands of Arabs have lost their lives for no reason. These were all senseless wars. If only the Arabs accepted to share the land with the Jews, this could have been avoided.
That right there is a powerful statement. That right there takes guts for someone from that region to say. So much guts. Thousands of lives lost over something that can be avoided. And why are the Jews going to an underdeveloped land, to a desert? Why did they have to go back there when there are many other places they could have gone to? Why? And she said that question she had to ask was, why are the Jews my enemies? That question, why? Why? 3 letters, 1 word. Why? It's a powerful question. If only our generation will ask that question.
When I returned to the Middle East, I tried to speak to Arabs, and I thought it's easy to tell them we are brainwashed, to open their eyes. And people weren't interested. They didn't want to listen, including my family members. It became dangerous for me because I was speaking out. So I decided to move back to Europe, and I decided to go back to university to study Islam from a neutral European perspective. Studying Islamic studies helped me understand, why is this political conflict becoming an eternal religious one? But I also wanted to understand, what's the problem with the Jews? So I went to study Jewish studies, and I took a very basic class with a Swedish rabbi. I realized the world made sense to me. The universal morality stemming from the 10 Commandments, from that event at Mount Sinai, when the Jewish people as a nation received this light and accepted the mission to be a light unto nations, I realized, that's it. I belong with this group of people.
Wow. I'm going to say this again, guys. I'm going to say this again. Coming from a place of hate, culture, wars, trauma, and turning around like this, that takes guts. Proper guts. You don't just flip like that until something hits different. You don't.
It doesn't mean that only Judaism makes sense. It means it made sense to me.
Personal.
I decided to convert to Judaism around a year before October 7th. October 7th, definitely not the first massacre or atrocity we witnessed in the Middle East. What was different about October 7th was how Hamas went about conducting their evil attack against Israel. It was so brutal, and it was recorded, and it was broadcast for the world to see. If they could do this to Israelis and broadcast it, including beheading people, knowing that Israel's strongest ally is the US, what would they do to the Gazans who opposed them? After October 7th, too many red lines were crossed that I realized now is the time to pick a side. I shared on social media that I am converting. I lost a lot of friends and family. Some came around, many didn't, but I made many friends along the way, and in a sense, a new family. I don't regret anything I've done.
Wait, stop this. Stop this. She converted and posted it on the social media. She made it public for the whole world to know, the whole nation, knowing the reprisal, knowing the reaction for family. She posted it out there saying, I'm taking a stand, I'm doing this. Bro, she's got balls. She's got big kahunas. I mean, I'm not a Jew. You guys know I'm not a Jew. But still, what? Coming from that?
I shared on social media that I am converting. I lost a lot of friends and family. Some came around, many didn't, but I made many friends along the way, and in a sense, a new family. I don't regret anything I've done. I'm happy, and I feel with all my heart that what I'm doing is the right thing. Since I decided to convert, I wanted to visit Israel, but I was hesitant because once I visit Israel, I can never go back to Lebanon and Syria.
Huh? Is that so? Once you visit Israel, you can never go to Lebanon or Syria. You can never. Someone, is that real? Is it that deep? You go to Israel, you can't go to those countries again. What?
Right thing. Since I decided to convert, I wanted to visit Israel, but I was hesitant because once I visit Israel, I can never go back to Lebanon and Syria. January 1st, 2024, I went to Israel for the first time. Now, after meeting thousands of Israelis, and I'm not exaggerating, I understood that 99% want peace with the neighboring countries. So many have roots there. So many have their ancestors' graves in the region. They just want peace. It took me a long time to dismantle this very complex narrative of lies that I grew up with. Any sane person should condemn Hamas and side with the Israelis. I would expect every government, even in Syria, in Lebanon, even Hamas, if they were decent people, they're supposed to protect their families, their children, their mothers, not sacrifice them. Why is the rest of the world confused? Due to intensive brainwashing. But in the West, it's because they don't know much about our history. They don't know what happens in Gaza, in the West Bank, how these groups treat their own people. The West doesn't understand the danger that radical Islam poses to Western civilization. And it's coming, and you're embracing it. You should know that by being silenced, intimidated, you are emboldening Hamas and terror organizations because they think they get away with it. Know that your silence, that your passivity, it's making the problem worse. We need you to stand up, to speak up, to defend Western civilization. Stop apologizing. Sometimes we have to fight back for the sake of our children. This camp that endorses political Islam is growing.
As she's speaking, one person's face comes to my mind. This man. This man, Toby Robinson. He comes to my mind. He says a lot of unfiltered things, very unfiltered, that sometimes I'm like, bro, you know, just calm down a little bit. But at the same time, he speaks quite a lot of truths in the things that he says. Okay, maybe a bit unpolished sometimes, but he just says things as it affects him. And he was jailed. He was jailed for the things that he said. And now, after jailing him, do you know what they've done? They've made him a hero. Now he's garnered more followers. People that hated him before started following him, started liking him. Me, I heard about him. I was scared of him. I was so scared of this guy. The far-right guy, the thug, I was so scared of this guy. But after they made him popular, like recently, like a couple of years ago, and then I tried to listen to what he was saying. I listened to him and I was like, you know, this guy might be raw, but he's got some truths. He's got some truths in the things he's saying. A lot of things he's saying hit home, especially with the grooming gangs we have in the UK.
You should know that by being silenced, intimidated, you are emboldening Hamas and terror organizations because they think they get away with it. Know that your silence, that your passivity, it's making the problem worse. We need you to stand up, to speak up, to defend Western civilization. Stop apologizing. Sometimes we have to fight back for the sake of our children. This camp that endorses political Islam is growing every day. It is time for moral clarity, and light, as it always does, will prevail.
Oh my God. Oh my God. This was so powerful. So very powerful, especially coming from a woman from those regions. She was born in Syria, grew up in Lebanon. Her father is Sunni, her mother is Shia. So she is a and then she's got this story to share. She's got these things to say. So very deep. I mean, don't get it twisted. This is not about taking sides at all. It's about seeing human beings beyond headlines. You can definitely support Palestine and reject hate. You can disagree and still grow. Okay? You can have a point of view. Tolerance is one thing that we have, and it is important for human beings to tolerate each other. You see, Rawan's story isn't for everyone, but it challenges everybody. It challenges you to ask, what have I been taught to hate? And is it even true? All I got to say right now is, whether you respect her journey or not, you have to admit that switch up is rare, like proper rare. Now I'm gonna put this to you. You tell me, was she brainwashed or not? You tell me, is she brave or just brainwashed? Guys, drop a comment in the comment section. And also, this man that spoke about Toby Robinson, we're going to talk about him soon. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share this video to someone with a similar mindset like us. People that love, people that don't want hate anymore, people that need a change in this life, people that want to progress and grow. It's been your boy. Gonna catch you in the next video. Peace.
Oh, I love you more than words can say. You are me. Oh, you are the light that shines in my way. You are me. Oh.